Olivia Bloomer joins me now to tell me a little bit more about yoga and the offering from Sports Science and what it is that they're doing online. Olivia, it's great having you join us. I'm sure you can, I'm hoping that you can hear us on that side there. How are things with you? You certainly look like you're in good shape.
Yes, yeah, I'm good. I'm doing well, thank you.
Olivia, you were pretty much first out the box. When we heard that there was lockdown and the gym stopped operating, the very next morning, Sports Science went live with a yoga class, and there you were in all your glory, presenting to everybody. Was that a bit of a shock for you?
Yeah, definitely. Presenting yoga in a class is very different to online, especially since you can't see the people. It's a different experience completely. But ever since then, I've now done my almost my 30th class since then, so it's been quite a journey.
So now you're a natural. You're just switch on your device and start teaching yoga. Have you been getting feedback from people? Are they talking to you?
From ever since the first video, there's been a lot of feedback, and I think a lot of people are appreciating, especially the free content. Um, and I also do Zoom classes, which I actually get to see the people. So that's also great.
Yeah.
And it gives a sense of community, not like just talking, like I'm just talking to a screen.
I mean, yoga is quite a personal thing. It's something that
Yeah.
people
Mhm.
obviously relate to you. They come to a class. I mean, over the last, I mean, you before lockdown, you would and you give class in a studio where you're able to engage with individuals, and people must come to you and speak to you about various things. How's that been for you?
Yeah, like that's been challenging, and I think that's the great part about having a Zoom platform is that you can see people, so you can get that aspect in a way, but obviously it's not exactly the same. But if you look at it on the bright side, a lot of people are intimidated by the group setting. So we've had a lot of people that are new to yoga coming in because they can do it in the comfort of their own home. They feel like they're not judged. So you can look at it from that aspect as well. We have a lot of newcomers to yoga, which
Yeah.
is great.
If I was coming to sports science to the gym, there would be Olivia in a studio doing yoga, and I would probably be doing some weight training or sitting on a bicycle. Why would you what would you say to me, JP? Get out of the gym, come and join me in a yoga class. Why would that be something that I would want to do?
Well, I mean, the one thing I say about yoga is that it's not just a physical practice, it's also a mental practice. So it's great for connecting mind, body, and also brain. And especially during like these lockdown times,
Yeah.
you see a lot of people with mental issues popping up, and just to be in a space where you can be mindful with your body, it really does make a big difference. And obviously, there's that aspect to flexibility, which you don't get with a lot of other strength training or things like that. So that's really important, especially when everyone's sitting by their computers hunched over. It's great to just open up, especially our front body,
Yeah.
and do a little bit of a.
We've seen all these every now and then. There's a breaking video of some or other high performance team who got in a guest yoga instructor of all these
Yeah,
tough guys doing sport, and they all inevitably walk out going, "That was the hardest class I've ever done." Is that the
yeah,
case?
yeah. Like I guess your body adapts to what you do often, so
Yeah.
that's why I always preach like even if you are a strength trainer, if you are just a rugby player, you can always gain something from trying something new. And as I said, mobility, flexibility, it's really important to be strong and to be flexible. I tell my yogis that they shouldn't only do yoga because you don't get you don't really
Right.
load your body as much as you maybe should be.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think a well-rounded practice is really, really important.
So I've always wanted to do some yoga, but the part that has always worried me is that I don't know the terminology. And that scares me a little bit because I'm going to come into your class and you're going to say I need to do the leaning cow or the flying cat or and I get lost. How do I go about starting yoga without thinking that I don't know how to do all these moves that you've got?
Yeah, so as I said, like the nice thing about this online platform is that you can do it without being judged. So you can sit there and like watch someone else do it and get those kind of cues. And like I always say, like a good teacher, if you go into a studio, a good teacher will immediately pick up that you're a beginner and place you in a position where you can see other students. And
Yes.
I believe that you should explain every pose, not just say the name of the pose. Because, I mean, obviously, people that are beginners are not going to know the Sanskrit word of the cat and the cow
Yes,
kind of
yes.
thing.
So that's one of the things that I suppose that people also want to know is you get different types of yoga, and some people think that yoga is only a sort of a meditational yoga, and then you get other yoga which is warm-up yoga. Nowadays we get different types of yoga. You get hot box yoga, and you get Vikram yoga. How do we know which one to do?
I would suggest you go and do your research, because they all have their pros and their cons. For example, what you see commonly on the internet and people practicing now is something called restorative yoga, and then a vinyasa style yoga. Right. So restorative yoga would be more of a relaxation, very slow, just stretching practice, whereas vinyasa or power yoga would be more of an energetic, maybe get your heart rate up kind of practice. Right. So yeah, I suggest you should do your research before.
Which is the yoga that you are doing in the mornings at Sports Science?
I do a vinyasa style, which is basically you just flow from pose to pose. And we do a little bit of strength and quite a lot of flexibility. But I also incorporate meditation in the beginning and the end. So a bit of everything.
I mean, that's the kind of thing that you want to wake up to in the morning is you want to get your day started, you want to do a bit of meditation.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think it's very important. And a lot of people have started to incorporate it and seen big differences during this lockdown period. So that's great. I love that.
Olivia, just a last question, and I'm hoping we're going to get you on the show on a regular basis to find out more about your classes and how you're doing. And we know that you guys have got a lot of different online classes at the moment. But if you want to do yoga, is it better to do it in the morning or in the evening, and how many times a week should one be doing yoga?
Well, I gain something different from a morning practice and an evening practice. So, for example, when I do my morning classes for my students, I make it a more energetic practice, because obviously you're waking up for the day and you're setting your mind right. Whereas my evening practices are beneficial in terms of they wind you down for the day, they're more relaxing, and also your flexibility is different from the morning to the evening. So in the morning you're quite tight, and especially now when it's cold, the muscles are quite tight and inflexible, whereas in the evening you can touch your toes a lot easier. So yeah, you take all of that into consideration.
Olivia, we're going to leave it at that. It's been great chatting with you. We will certainly follow you online, and you might even see me pop up at a class there. But thanks for all this, all the commitment that you're doing there. And I think people, especially during the lockdown period, have needed you. And so that's been great.
Okay, thank you so much, JP.
Folks, Olivia Broomer there. She's, of course, a yoga instructor at Sports Science Institute. And you can follow her online with her Zoom classes. Just go and visit the Sports Science Institute Facebook page. And you can follow Olivia with her yoga classes and get yourself either, as she said, sort of getting the day started, or maybe in the evening winding down a little bit.